I'm here today to tell you a story, a nonfiction story, a true story of what I went through as a county commissioner in Washtenaw County. A true story of fighting for the public and their ability to drink clean water. For 6 years, Mr. Speaker, for 6 years, the people of Washtenaw County fought to get dioxane rated at a level that was reasonable. Because in Michigan, as it turns out, as was stated earlier, 85 parts per billion was the standard for drinking water. The EPA was saying it should be more like 3. And Michigan had a standard of 85 parts per billion. It took us 6 years of fighting with the DEQ, with industry partners, to get that level down to 7.2 parts per billion. Now let me tell you the story of what happened in the meantime while we were waiting. When I started on the County Board of Commissioners in 2011, we started asking, why is our standard so high? Why are we not protective of public health? Why have we not updated our standard to the best available science, which, by the way, is what our law requires us to do? There is a law, friends, that states that in 2013 we should have adopted rules in this state to update our standards to best available science. Well, we never did that. We never did that, and I'll tell you why we never did that, because I had a front row seat to the action. What happened is the DEQ said, we're going to bring a group of industry partners to the table. We're going to bring a group of folks from the polluting industries, and yeah, we'll have a couple citizens at the table, but we're mostly going to have folks from the polluting industries. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Sure sounds familiar to me. And what happened? What happened is the rules didn't change in 2013. They didn't change in 2014. They didn't change in 2015. They didn't change in 2016. And they did not change in 2017 until October of last year. October of last year. So what does that mean? That means that a family in Scioto Township, Michigan, drank the water. They bathed in the water. They washed their clothes in the water. They cooked using the water. The water that was contaminated by EPA standards, but that our standards here in Michigan did not mark as contaminated. Why? Because the group of industry partners said, let's wait another year. Let's wait another year. Let's develop a calculator to see what the numbers are going to be and see what we come out with in the end. Well, what did we do? We exposed their family to a carcinogen, their children to a carcinogen, their parents to a carcinogen, and that was only one family. What this bill will do, it will make that the standard. It will make that the norm for every pollutant. We're supposed to be updating all 300 plus pollutants in this state to best available science, and we're not doing that now. How do you think this bill is going to change that? It's only going to make it worse. We've tried this. We tried the experiment. The DEQ self-complied with the spirit of this law. And what it meant was 5 extra years of people drinking poisoned water. So if you are not moved by the idea that we need to protect our environment, if you are not moved by the fact that we have a duty to protect our Great Lakes, if you are not moved by the fact that we need to protect clean air and an environment where we can all live in, then maybe you will be moved by the fact that children were drinking poisoned water. Will you be moved by that? Will you be moved by the fact that families were cooking with poisoned water? Will you be moved by that? Because that's the reality of what happens when we put corporations in the driver's seat and we put the people in the back seat. That's what happens, Mr. Speaker. That is what happens when we allow recklessness in our government. And that is what these bills do. These bills are the epitome of what's wrong with government today, where we have put our corporate sponsors in the driver's seat and we have put our citizens in the back seat. Mr. Speaker, we must vote against this bill. It is our duty as representatives. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Vote no.